Hello, my name is Elise Croft, and this is my presentation on Fletcher v. Peck, 1810, the case that protected property and shaped federal power. This case may not be as famous as Marbury v. Madison, but it's still extremely important because it was the first time that the Supreme Court declared a state law unconstitutional. It dealt with corruption, property rights, and the balance between state and federal power, all under Chief Justice John Marshall's leadership. The background. This case began with the Yazoo land fraud in Georgia. In 1795, state legislators accepted bribes to sell land at ridiculously low prices. When the public found out, the next legislator tried to cancel all of those land sales. That's what set up the legal question in Fletcher v. Peck. Can a state government undo a contract after it's already been made? What happens to buyers who already purchased the land in good faith? Robert Fletcher bought some of the land from John Peck, but Fletcher later found out that the original land grant had been declared invalid, so he sued Peck, saying the sale was illegal. The Supreme Court then had to make a decision whether Georgia's repeal of the land grant was constitutional or not. In 1810, the court ruled in favor of John Peck. Chief Justice John Marshall wrote that the contract prevents states from passing laws that interfere with existing contracts. Even though the original land deal was corrupt, it was still a valid contract under the law. This is historic because it was the first time the Supreme Court struck down a state law as unconstitutional. Fletcher v. Peck was a major milestone. It extended the principle of judicial review, first used in Marbury v. Madison, to state laws. It protected property rights by making contracts legally secure, which was really important for early American economic growth. And it showed Marshall's belief in a strong national government that could limit the actions of individual states. It established states cannot interfere with legal contracts, which helped prevent private property and business interests. It reinforced that the idea that the Supreme Court has the power to overrule state laws when they conflict with the U.S. Constitution, a huge moment for federal authority. It also showed Marshall's vision of a strong national government and a stable economic system built on the rule of law. This case is deeply connected to federalism. It established that the Supreme Court had the final say when state laws conflicted with the Constitution. It is one of the early steps toward creating an undivided national legal system. Even today, Fletcher v. Peck matters. It sets a legal foundation that protects private property and business agreements from government interference. The idea that the government can't just cancel contracts remains in a cornerstone of American law. It also proved that the Supreme Court could keep state governments in check, an important part of maintaining constitutional order. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Bye.